No, 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 Batman! Wayne Family Adventures, new on Webtoon. Please check it out, please! Batman! Few superhero names are as well known as Batman. The crime-fighting detective of the night is known by just about everyone. The superhero Batman is well known for a lot. He's a superhero. He's incredibly smart and skilled, feared by many, even if he's just human. I've never gotten a chance to talk about Batman before. Batman is a DC property, and I usually only stick to Webtoon properties. However, the heavens have aligned, as the Webtoon original series Batman Wayne Family Adventures is now out on Webtoon. Like the name suggests, the typical Batman action, detective work and such are kind of put on the back burner. Granted, they're still there. We still see some action, but it's not while fighting villains, it's while fighting over a cookie. Sure, some detective work, but it's more just two vigilantes trying to stop a burglary from occurring at the wrong location. Batman Wayne Family Adventures isn't really about any of that though. What it's really about is in the title. Wayne Family Adventures. This series takes a different approach to the superhero Batman, instead focusing on the Wayne family. And by the Wayne family, I mean all of the Wayne family. Just as a quick rundown, we have Duke Thomas, or The Signal, Damian Wayne, known as Robin, Jason Todd, or The Red Hood, Tim Drake, or Red Robin, Cassandra Cain, or Orphan, Barbara Gordon, or Oracle, and Stephanie Brown as Spoiler. Wow, that's a big family. But this series is about the entire Wayne family. It follows the day-to-day lives of superheroes when they're not being superheroes, when they're just being people, when they're moving into new houses, participating in traditions that involve sweets, or even going out for coffee. This series is about one thing, and that is family. With the series being much more about the day-to-day lives to these heroes in each episode, this video isn't really going to be an analysis or that much of a discussion. It's actually going to be much more of a review of what the series is like so far, looking at things that are great about it, and looking at why this series is important, and where I think it can go. Now man, this series is actually becoming one of my favorites. Now Batman Wayne Family Adventures has a starting advantage. Since many of us already know these characters, many of us already have a connection to these characters. Even if you don't have a connection, you probably have some knowledge of them. Batman is pretty well known, you probably know Nightwing and Robin, though which Robin is up to you. Red Hood is a little more of a reach, and I didn't even know about Orphan, Signal, or Spoiler. But that's the best parts. If you don't know who any of these characters are, it's a great chance to start learning. But if you do, then this series is a love letter to fans who've dedicated a lot of time into the lore of Batman. Do you recognize Duke Thomas or Cassandra Cain? I didn't, but with your knowledge, you already knew who these people are. You already understand where they came from, or already care about them. And now it's a chance for anyone, like myself, to get to know them, to get to see them in action, to make connections with them. What more do I need to say? The comedy is gold, the situations we've already seen are entertaining, the family dynamic is great, and I'm always a fan of the straight-faced butler. And that last thing is important. Wait, no, sorry. Alfred's great, but I meant the family dynamic is important. I always think that the theme of family is important in most Batman media. The family you make and the family you choose is just as important, if not more important, than the family you're born into. Batman and the Wayne family on the whole is about chosen family. Choosing the family you have. Now often many of them don't really have a family, or one anymore. But for example, Barbara Gordon still has a father, Jim Gordon, the Gotham Police Commissioner. He's actually in the series. However, she still spends time with the Wayne family. Not because she's important to their shenanigans or whatever, though her time behind the screen is important intel to the gang, but she's a part of the family. And that family is what I really hope to see in this series. Look, we've seen a lot of sides to Batman. Even if you're not talking obscure comic book references, we've seen him as a Justice League member, we've seen him as a Russian, we've seen him in Lego form, we've seen both animated and live action in like 20 different ways. We've seen a lot of sides to Batman in the entire Wayne family. And while that connection is important in many of these, I feel like Dad Batman is never really the most important aspect in any of these medias. So far in this webtoon, we've seen a bit of Batman. The family connection we have is mainly everyone else, more of how the siblings interact and connect. I'm really hoping we see the famed and terrifying Batman, crime fighter of the night, a human among actual superpowered humans and gods, as a dad, connecting with his kids, leading them into a better future, helping them throughout their life. And that sounds like a pretty interesting webtoon to me. Sorry this was a little shorter than I normally do. I just really wanted to talk about this series, but I didn't want to drag it on. So I thought a shorter one would work better. But that's all for today. So like always, thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you next week. Take care.